Welcome to the Sporty Show, ladies and gentlemen. I am Sara Pararia, as always, joining you for what is almost the end of the group stage in the Euros. And of course, who else would I be without? Besides
Yeah,
Klinton
you can
Cod?
never be without me, of course. It's your boy Klinton Cod as usual. What y'all saying? What's going on, man? I'm looking forward to today's games, you know. I want to see a few people cry. Obviously, we have our...
Was that aimed at me?
No, wait. Wait for me to finish, man. Jesus Christ. What if you... I mean, we have two people wearing red today. You know that, right? You never know if I was talking about Sara, but then 100% Sara is definitely not swinging that way, unfortunately. But yeah, it's the one and only Alex.
Ashmore! The man with the red bow tie.
When you see him on the red bow tie, we already know what is expected. What's that his name again?
Southgate.
Right, yeah.
The stupid. You've lost his name. You can't even.
Nah, I don't even want to know his name anymore. And I mean, we also have. You want me to introduce him, or you want to introduce him? Come on,
introduce him.
No. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we were looking for somebody who has been on the pitch, somebody who has seen everything in the house. We were able to bring this man into the Sporty Show. It's Mo Salah, ladies and gentlemen. Look at his head swelling. He actually thinks it's Mo Salah.
Mo Salah.
Oh, they actually said it's Mo Salah.
Musiala. Now it's Musiala. Yeah, you'd rather be Musiala for sure.
Thanks for having me on the show.
How we doing?
I'm good, and you?
Good, thank you.
How do you feel today, brother?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
How'd you think about it?
For the way he had to breathe in. He didn't sound like somebody who's had a fantastic day.
I feel good. I feel wonderful. I'm just happy to be here.
Good.
Happy that England.
No, you're around happy people. You're around me. You're around Sara.
Oh yeah, I feel the energy.
Yeah, good.
Love the energy. Good vibes.
All right, guys, make sure to follow SportyTV on all of your socials because we are here every single match day, Insta, Twitter, YouTube. We have it all, and we are taking you on that European journey. So come on the journey with us, and make sure to check out Sporty Live tomorrow night, as well as they're going live before the final group stage matches and as well post-match analysis. But here's what we have going on for you on today's show.
We kick off today's Sporty Show by looking back at yesterday's action, as Spain beat Albania and Italy dramatically assured qualification. Group C ends tonight, as England look to bounce back from a disappointing draw against Denmark last time out. We also discuss whether Mbappé is back fit for the game against Poland, as France look to top the group ahead of the Netherlands.
Yes, there's so much to talk about on today's show, but I think we have to start with one place and one place only. And this one is actually a little bit emotional. Let's see what Luka Modric had to say after that loss to Italy last night.
Thank you very much for this wonderful tribute. Right from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. I'd also like to keep playing forever, but there probably will come a time when I have to hang up my boots. I'll keep playing on. I don't know for how much longer, but thank you very much for your words.
So that was Luka Modric's response to an Italian journalist who asked him if he could continue playing for the rest of his life because he is his favorite person to cover in football.
Wow.
It's beautiful when you see stuff like that, Alex, right? Because obviously, like, you know, we saw Italy came back, Zaccagni in the 98th minute to draw that game and send Croatia packing, but you still have love for some of these players, and Luka Modric is one of those players.
He is, and I think, to be fair, the translator did a very good job of projecting his sorrow in his voice as well. I think he was equally as sad. But yeah, you know, fortunately, I've had the pleasure to see Luka Modric this season, week in, week out, play for Real Madrid, and he is, you know, he's fantastic. You know, he's obviously getting on, he's getting to the latter stages of his career, but they've got him for another year. That magic is still there, and he is one of the best players to ever play the game, one of the best midfielders of all time. And yeah, it will be a sad day once he retires, but at least we've got him for at least another season in La Liga.
I mean, it feels like Alex has had the pleasure to watch a lot of really big players play on the pitch,
I'm
right?
very fortunate.
But there's only one person you've not been fortunate to see, though, and that's me. Sara, come. Oh my! Like no, Sarah, you can't be doing this on the live show, man. Jesus! Like, but I mean, you've seen me play. Like this. I
I'm
mean,
going
you
to
are a
ask for that
witness.
GoPro footage from Ben when you played football last week.
No, forget about last week. Let's talk about this week.
You should have seen yesterday. Yesterday it was better.
No,
Yesterday
it wasn't about being better. It's about your opponent coming to tell you that you are better than a lot of people I've seen play. Like that. No, Sarah, come on, back me.
When I see the footage, I'll believe it, Klinton.
No, there was no footage. That's it. There's no footage.
Just
And
like
by
there's no stats.
I mean, there is a stats.
There's no video.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
Right, whatever.
In the
For your eyes
trenches.
only.
Whatever. But by the way, just speaking about Luka Modric, what's happened to him yesterday at the game? Now, if I was if I was him as a player after what I had seen happen, I'm definitely going home, going to my Instagram page, unfollow everybody I played with yesterday on that pitch because they do not deserve to have me playing with them. There's no way you would miss a penalty. And then, I don't know if this is the time to run into all of this, but you know me.
Run.
Yes, good. Thank you, Sarah. There's no way you would miss a penalty, go through all that pressure, bang in a goal, and then they sub you off, and all you need to do is just to watch your teammates guide that goal to the end. And then at the last few seconds in the game, what happens? Now we're not going to see him play. I mean,
well,
maybe,
they could.
but
England need to win by 3 or more goals, and I think that still keeps Croatia in
Yeah, but I think
But you know
our
how England
producer
have done
Ben
this
said it was
season.
about a 2% chance
Yeah,
that Croatia
I mean,
goes through.
I wouldn't back England to do that for you.
I wouldn't back England either. But let's not talk about England just yet. Sal, talk to me about the emotions that you at least felt from watching this game. Obviously, we saw Luka Modric miss a penalty, or rather Donnarumma save it, but then he is the man to save this Croatian team, and his goal was great. You know, he worked hard for that goal, obviously, and then in the final moments, it gets like the carpet basically dragged under from you.
Well, it's football. That's all I can say, football. Football is a crazy game. It's really crazy. But what can I say? These guys have been with Modric. They've given it their all, and at the end of the day, it's football. It's just football. I don't know. I just keep on repeating football, football.
Listen.
I
No,
have
let me remove a few football from your mouth, right?
Yeah, remove some because...
Now, the fact is, listen.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm going to blame Modric for anything that's happened. You could clearly tell that he played out his heart on that game. He did everything he could. Yes, we understand he didn't get the penalty, to get in. But at least he was able to still bang in the goal.
Made up for it, yeah.
He made up for it, right? I'm still saying that why would you have a team of, I don't know, some bunchers? I'm trying to think about it, right? I don't want to go, because literally I'm very upset. I'm very upset with the people. All you needed to do was to just defend.
Their defense.
Listen, everybody forget about, we have a goal, we're on the lead. Just stay behind. Stay behind. Is it too hard to ask for Christ's sake?
Clearly.
Stay behind.
Clearly it is too hard.
I think one thing you need to understand with defending for that long.
Listen, I'm boiling.
It's not something easy.
No.
It's not easy. It's not easy to defend.
Listen. No, Modric. I don't know the probability of you getting to hear what I'm about to say, but listen, if you don't unfollow all your teammates from last night, Modric, I'm going to unfollow you, because then at that point you're going to piss me off too. How would you? You see, when the game was going on towards the end, you could see Modric, literally at the sidelines, and you could see him being a coach. Modric was literally there trying to control things. You could clearly see that he couldn't wait for the final whistle, where he would literally just jump out, get into the pitch, and celebrate with the fans. And then you have all these young, rubbish guys who decided to say, we are going to rip him off of this happiness. And then what happens? Now he's having to give us some sad press conference. Fam, listen, he's done his best. Nobody's going to play forever. At the end of the day, he's one of the best that will go down in history as the best midfielders in the world. He's literally paid his dues. He's done everything he could do in football. And it's just so sad that if they don't end up going to the next stage, that was a very wrong way on not getting there.
It's heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking, but overall I don't think Croatia did enough, especially in those first 2 matches. But there's one person I'd like to ask this question to. Gary is in the building.
Gary, my guy. My guy.
Baggy's here too. We have a full party. Hello, boys. How
It's
we doing?
insane.
Hey guys, you're being a little bit harsh on Modric, I think, and a little bit harsh on Croatia as a whole. Just can't. It was a difficult game. Italy are okay. Italy are a good team. I think you're being a little harsh on those guys. They defended very well. Look, it was a great finish, and I mean, yes, they conceded in the 95th minute against Albania. Yes, they conceded in the 98th minute against Italy, but yeah, I think you're being
They
a
got
little harsh.
absolutely
But
pumped by
No,
Spain
but-
3-0,
no, but Alex-
Alex, and that's
but
why
Spain are
they're
good at
in this
football.
position.
No, but Alex-
They did
Spain are
not
good
play
at football, though.
well.
Alex,
They
Alex,
didn't play
Alex, let me
well.
tell you, Alex is only saying this because he's got nothing to do with Croatia.
No,
I don't-
because
I don't think-
Alex is trying to
I
get in
don't-
everyone's good books.
No,
He's got a big
trust
game later
me,
today.
like, Alex, I don't know whether, you know, maybe if you had been out with a Croatian chick, you know, at some point in your life, maybe you would feel the pains that I'm feeling. Maybe I've not come to that level just yet, but the way you are sounding, Alex, if that was England, be sincere with me. I mean, you're from England, you're currently in Manchester. Imagine, say, one of the legends of England. Who's the oldest player in England currently?
The oldest, in the team?
Yeah, in the team.
I mean, that's a good question, actually.
Luke Shaw.
Probably, maybe, yeah. Luke Shaw, Harry Kane.
Okay. Now, I mean,
Kane.
Alex. Okay, Harry
Yeah.
Kane. Harry Kane, he looks young.
Harry Kane is 30 now.
Yeah, he's
So he's the oldest person on the squad. You guys are playing like this. Good
young
discussion.
squad.
I mean, Alex, imagine Harry Kane was 37 years old. Imagine he had the life of Luka Modric, and he scored a goal that means that England would literally exactly the same situation going on with Croatia currently, right? And then at the 90, in fact, the last, I'm not going to say 90, it's even 98, it's like the last few seconds, right? And then the English defense, they just let it go in, boom, right? Alex, I know you, like at least, apart from your AirPods, I know everything about you, so far, right? Alex, be sincere with me. If you come on this show right now, what would be your reaction? Forget about what's happening to Croatia.
I'd be disowning every player on there. Completely
Thank you.
agree. But, however, it depends on the standard of the team. Italy to Croatia Italy are a better team. They got lucky to be in that position. It felt like they didn't really deserve the win overall. I think it's just a little bit overreaction in my personal opinion. But at the same time, yeah, when you get to 97 minutes, just see it over the line, keep the ball. But it's tough to do. You're relying on 35-year-old players to control the game for you. That's the problem with Croatia. And they had to come off the pitch. You had to take off Kovacic. You had to take off Modric. And they lost all control. It became just defend. They needed someone to put the foot on the ball. The problem is Modric is 38 years old. He couldn't play another 90 minutes. He couldn't put the foot on the ball for the entire game and just get it through. So, yeah, I'd be freaking out as much as you are. But maybe, yeah, I don't know. I think Croatia need to... They're the size of Scotland, and they get to the quarterfinals in every tournament. They're a proper team. They deserve to maybe lose out once in a while. You know, they can miss this one.
They've missed all of them from my
Well, I mean,
counting.
so
I mean, go to
some
the final
character.
and then France, you know, we remember that. So unfortunate for Croatia. Gary, let me get your thoughts on this really quickly before we move on, because I know you have something to say about this.
Disappointing. I mean, it wasn't like I was rooting for Luka Modric and Croatia, but you know, the story was going to be better if, in terms of how romantic it was going to be, how fairy tale like it was going to be. Because then, if Croatia had won, remind me again, they would have been on 4 points. They would have been second. Italy would then have had a chance to go through as one of the third best placed teams. Okay. So it meant that both teams would have been in the equation. And then, of course, there was the Luka Modric angle. I mean, who doesn't like the guy? He's never, you know, he's never beaten a fly. He's never done anything bad in the,
That's cute.
you know, any headline. So, but the drama with the equalizer was also good. I mean, it was really,
No, of course.
Yeah, Italy
well,
really turned
you
out.
know, it was. And Calafiori, how old is he again? 22? You know, they're going to miss him in the next match, whoever they face. And I think that he also deserves his flowers. But yeah, Sarah, like you said, I don't think that over 90 minutes or 90 whatever minutes, Italy deserved to go through. Croatia were better value. But then again, like Alex says as well, Alex Airport says as well, look, they didn't take that.
I think you guys need to give me
They
the
didn't take
accolades
their
for knowing how to
chances
separate these
Yeah.
two.
They didn't take their chances in that first half, and maybe Croatia should have buried it earlier so that we wouldn't have been talking about this by now.
I think that's the thing for me. Croatia obviously did really well. They got so close, and they were whiskers away from getting through, clinching that second spot. But football is a game that you have to play until the very last whistle. And if you're relying on a performance saving you in that last game, you've got to look at those opening two performances. Like you said, they got thrashed by Spain. They were outclassed. They should have got the win against Albania, but they weren't good enough to hold on for those 3 points. So when you're, as a whole, if you look at their competition, their performance, if you're, criticising a last-minute equaliser in the last game to go through, I don't think that's where you look at the blame. You look at the performances from the opening two games, because if you play better in those games, you don't have to worry about a last-minute equaliser in the last group game.
I'm just still pissed off with Croatia, man.
All right, well, then let's move along.
But what a goal, though. What a goal from...
Modric.
Not Modric.
Oh, Zaccagni.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant from Zaccagni. And like Gary said, Calafiori had a brilliant match, and he will absolutely be one to watch in the round of 16. So let's see what Italy can do. Let's move along, though, to Albania and Spain very quickly. Spain beat Albania comfortably 1-0 with a completely rotated side. Ferran Torres was the one who got on the scoreboard there. Just want to, on the record, make sure that's why people know I'm wearing red today, and it's not because of England. Alex Ashmore is our representative for that.
I thought you were a die-hard England fan, Sarah.
Oh!
That's what you said to me before we went on air, I think.
Are you joking? There's not a world. There's no world, no universe, never. Does anyone want to say anything on Spain and Albania? I heard you guys talking before we started rolling that, Alex, you actually think Spain is the
I have them,
best-looking team so far.
to be honest, and I compare them to Germany. I was saying, I think...
because Musal actually said that, what about Germany to you?
Yeah, well, so I think, Germany have proven that they're a good team, but Spain have proven it against higher quality opposition. I know Croatia haven't been up to it this competition, but they've got better players than Hungary and Scotland. Italy are one of the top teams at this competition. Spain have played really well in those 3 games. They've won all 3. Perfect record. So far, the only team to have done that. So I think when I look at that team, and they did it last night with the second string. I know they only won 1-0, but there were some players in there that are second choice, it's fair to say. So for me, Spain have put the rest of the teams on notice, and they're my favourites, clear favourites, I think, just because they've proven themselves against tougher opposition.
Do you want to say anything to that, Musa?
For me, I still think Germany are the favourites, but with the way Spain played yesterday, I think they have something to offer, but they do have something to offer, but, well, Germany are taking it.
They do have that home advantage as well. I think that
For
always
sure.
adds that
Germany
little
are
bit of
taking it.
motivation.
Well, what's really unfortunate is that the 2 best teams so far in the tournament will likely face each other in the quarterfinals, so we're all getting robbed. Perfect. All right, let's talk about none other than England, because I have Alex Bagley and I have Alex Ashmore here.
Are you ready to suffer, Alex?
Ooh!
Not
This is going to be a difficult day,
I'm not
isn't
happy
it?
already.
Okay,
gonna
Alex,
be a
talk
long,
to me.
long day.
Airport Alex, talk to me. How are we feeling? What are your thoughts? Is Trent Alexander going to start this game?
Well, he's not. He's not. By the looks of the reports, he's not actually going to play this game. But he's replaced one problem with another, and he's putting Conor Gallagher in to replace him. Paul Scholes put something out on Instagram before saying, "Why do we value energy over quality or control or the British?" Something along those lines. And you're kind of going, why don't we? We have 2 midfielders there. You've got Gareth Southgate saying we can't replace Calvin Phillips, when you've got Wharton and Main who just sat there going, "Hey guys, what about us? What are we doing?" Like, just put them in the team, and that will change everything. All these conversations about how do we get the best out of Foden? How do we keep Bellingham doing this? How do we stop Kane from dropping so deep? Put someone that holds the ball in midfield, allow Declan Rice to go forward, allow Foden to run forward, allow Saka not to think about as much, and there you'll have it. But no, he's going to put Conor Gallagher in. There's going to be this headless chicken press that we're going to do for the first 10, 15 minutes. I'm not saying we're going to lose, because when you've got Harry Kane, Phil Foden, Bellingham, we'll probably score a goal. We've got enough good players to keep going past teams like Slovenia. But one good team, and I'm not talking a really good team, if we face a Switzerland or an Austria in the next round who have a little bit of organisation, they're going to score some goals against us, and we're not going to be able to break them down, because unless he puts a midfielder in there. But I think the only way he's going to do it is he's going to get Gallagher booked in the first 5 minutes, which he probably will, because he's always, as someone said, he's chasing his first touch constantly. And at half-time, we're going to have to bring him off, and he'll maybe put some midfielder on, and you might see some good football from England. But I'm not confident in the slightest at this moment in time.
Alex, but do you not think that, obviously you mentioned Foden and obviously his abilities, and the fact is when you look at England on paper, you would almost think that they would win any game, right? But do you not think that Foden as a person, if you were the coach, would you not just consider changing, putting him in his natural position to be more effective?
I think that is another option. Put him on the right-hand side, put him in the 10, but what are you going to do? You're going to move Saka out of the way to put him on the right-hand side? I don't like that. I think Saka's your one that runs in behind out of all of them. Your other option is move Jude Bellingham into midfield. I don't like that either. Jude Bellingham has proved this season how good he can be in big moments, scoring big goals. Have him as high, further forward as you can, and then move, but I still think the problem becomes in midfield. Phil Foden's got a problem because we don't have the ball and we're trying to find him with long passes and we're trying to find him with different things. That has been the issue, and he's not had any support at the left. Give him a midfielder to play with. If we've got the ball, if we've got 90% possession, 80% possession, then it doesn't matter where he can fill in different places. The problem becomes we don't have control of midfield. It becomes transitional. He's constantly tracking back, and then we're trying to build from the left-hand side through Phil Foden, who's not there. So that, to me, is the issue. But let's wait and see. Look, Conor Gallagher may prove me wrong tonight and be a big change. And I would like to see maybe Anthony Gordon as well. I'd like to see him from the start to see if we can stretch some defences and put some people in behind.
Look at Alex's reaction to that.
We're going to see people freak out that we've not got Phil Foden starting if we do that. So, but yeah, let's wait and see what happens tonight. But no confidence.
Left to me, the one thing I would do, I don't care whether, I understand that Phil Foden is obviously a world-class player as we speak. He's done everything with Manchester City. He's literally one of the brightest in Europe, if you ask me. But if it means that you're putting him on a position that he's not giving his full best, I'd rather put him on the bench and find somebody who would give us exactly what we look for from that particular way. Because clearly you could see that Saka does everything from the right, but if he almost feels like from the left wing is just dormant, and you have the quality of Phil Foden and it's not displaying. Why not find somebody who would be able to, be much more impactful? I understand they brought in Eze, the other day, and people felt like he wasn't much active. But then again, he came in probably at some point during the game. I would love to see him start. Actually, have somebody who this is his natural position playing, for England, and there just has to be a change.
I think I look at that team. I can't fault the defence, to be brutally honest. Mm-hmm. I think the defence has been fantastic. You've got Trippier playing out of position. He's done, a really good job. I think Mark Gahey and John Stones, fantastic. Kyle Walker, couldn't really fault him. Pickford as well. I look at that defence, I completely agree with what Alex said. Declan Rice, we know his capabilities. He's played further forward for Arsenal. He offers a lot more to that attack. I think he's got good defensive abilities, but we need him in less of a sixth role, just a little bit further forward. And I think, and I said this before, Conor Gallagher's a good player, but he's not a game winner. He is that solid midfielder that, compacts the midfield together, and, he's that, I guess, link between defence and midfield. But I'd love to see someone like Adam Wharton. He's done really well for Blackburn and Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, obviously, looking at his performances in the Championship, giving him a chance, and he's had games in the Premier League. Bellingham, again, he can play that deeper role, but he offers so much more in attack. We've seen his goal-scoring record in La Liga this season. It's his first season. He's been phenomenal, arguably one of the best breakout seasons in La Liga ever, And I was talking about this with you the other day, Sara, potentially look at going back to a 4-4-2. Mm-hmm. Why not? There's so many more. I look at Kane up front, he feels very isolated, and yes, I think Anthony Gordon on that left, he could do a brilliant job. He cuts in from the left, he goes behind defenders, he just offers that something that Phil Foden isn't quite offering. And I think this is, a rare thing to do, but I'm criticising Gareth Southgate for his loyalty to those players. It's not often you criticise someone for their loyalty, but in football, you've got to be ruthless. And if a player isn't playing well, no matter how impressive they've been throughout the season, you've got to make changes. And I think I would be furious if we don't make those changes, because you can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results.
Would you start Phil Foden, Musal, if you're Gareth Southgate for this match?
I will.
Yeah, tell me
I'll
why.
move him to the 10 position
Okay.
and then drop Bellingham down.
So you're doing...
Place Anthony Gordon on the left, Saka on the right, and Harry Kane up top.
And who are you letting out?
Gallagher, of course.
Well, okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Gallagher needs to sit.
I mean, I would see where it's coming from. I think that's a solid, other side of the England team. For me, it's anything possible to make sure you're bringing out the best in the player. Just do it. That's the way I would see things. But the fact that Foden is there, you don't understand how every single time I go to watch England and I'm seeing Phil Foden struggling in a place that he's played the whole year. He's come from a whole different zone in the pitch, and then you're putting him there in an important tournament like this.
Frustrating, isn't it?
It's frustrating, no, for real. And I mean, Gary. Sorry. I don't want to, because the problem now is that you might leave Gary now, and Gary will go and start making banku in one part of. Okay, Gary. No, wait. No, Gary. Yeah, sorry.
I'm thinking. The Foden question. I don't doubt his quality. You've listed his credentials brilliantly, but more and more, is he as just a system player who cannot play when he has the kind of quality that Man City have around him? It's not like the quality around him in the England team are slouches, but, player for player, pound for pound, perhaps he doesn't probably gel in that system. That's for Gareth Southgate to sort out as well. And I do share the frustrations of everybody about why this England team is not pairing as it should, but fact of the matter is that after yesterday's game where Spain beat Albania, England have already qualified, right? They are now looking to advance as Group C winners if they beat Slovenia today, or that will happen if they draw and Denmark fail to beat Serbia. And if Denmark beat Serbia and England draw, then both will be equal on points. And who wins the group will go down to goal difference. I'm pointing all these out because no matter what happens in this this game today, there will be a stick that will be used to beat Gareth Southgate, unless they win like 4-0 and it's flawless. England they've put themselves in this position where they needn't have put themselves in this position because, there's too much quality in that team. What I'm looking forward to, I'm hoping that Gareth is going to tell the team to play freely and fearlessly. One, because they've already qualified. We are going to go through anyway. So just be yourself and play and just express yourself. I don't know if, guys, there are two Alexis, because you are English. I don't know if there's, the guys feel a weight on their shoulders. I don't know. What do you think?
I completely agree. I think, you talk about, and this has come out quite a lot, the criticism that the team's felt, and I think Harry Kane's felt maybe a bit aggrieved by that. But then, the pressure of playing at this level, it comes with the territory. You can't expect to play at this level and not receive criticism. And then when you play like you've done against Serbia and Denmark, with all due respect to those two teams, England should be beating them comfortably. 100%. And if you're not doing that and you can't, accept, obviously I'm not telling you to listen to the criticism. These players, I would advise them to not listen to it. Concentrate on playing their game, concentrate on training. But if you're playing at this top level, you have to be ready for criticism. It's just part and parcel of it.
No, if there's
I think
a way
Harry
they can
Kane
block them
sounded
off.
best. I think Harry Kane sounded best when he was asked about the Gary Lineker thing. And for the record, I thought that I think the Lineker thing was blown out of proportion, to be very honest. I think it was blown out of proportion. And, it comes down to us, the media, as well. The way the question was even framed for Harry Kane, that Harry, what do you think? What do you think of Gary Lineker saying that you are shit on his podcast?
But Gary, we know about the media in the UK. This is the way they move.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That is why I'm saying Harry Kane. I love the way he responded when he said, if it's Harry Kane, he wouldn't mind, but he's more worried about the younger players of the team because, come on, they are Gen Zs. They live on social media. I'm sure Harry Kane can go the whole tournament without going on Twitter or X or Facebook. But, Bukayo Saka and all those kids, they live there. They've built houses there, so they are going to see it. And I think that this is where, so for example, in Ghana, there's a big discussion that started a couple of years ago about whether there should be a code of conduct like the Brazilians are doing with the Copa America. I don't know if you saw the code of conduct for the Brazilian national team about even the use of phones. So phones are not allowed in any eating spaces. When we are having lunch, we are supposed to be phone free. So they know that these are Gen Zs who have to be on their phones, and they are putting video games and stuff like that. I think it was Germany where they are having areas where they are having their Xboxes and stuff like that for them too. But it's a problem it's a 2024 thing that we have to deal with. And I'm thinking that that's the next level for all big national teams to deal with, because look, there has to be a point where you have to be able to straddle the very thin line between infringing upon the player's rights and telling them that you are doing it for the good of their mental health and for the country. Because it's only 3 weeks. It's only 4 weeks. Guys, it's only 4 weeks. So if I am telling you that in camp on match day, I am taking the phone away from you, I, as the team manager, should be okay with you not going to sue me for infringing on your rights. I don't know what you guys think, and I think all these national teams and these kids must understand that the media wants clicks. They want, they want people to follow their coverage and all that. Gary Lineker is an ex-player, yes, but he wants people to watch the BBC coverage. And right on, they want people to watch the coverage. It's up to you as the player to see no evil and hear no evil and focus on your damn job and get the phones away. Thank you.
Honestly,
Well done, Gary.
They even said that, Alan Shearer and Gary Lineker that said that themselves. I think it was Alan Shearer saying, what do you do at this tournament? I think the first thing you've got to do is just ignore the outside world. It's your white noise, as you call it. And I think there is obviously that pressure, and it's a big weight playing for England. It's a historical team. It's a historical shirt in terms of world football. But when you're playing at this level, you have to learn, like Gary said, to just ignore it and concentrate on your football, because if you let it get to you, it can really affect you.
Personally, I think you get to this level of football and you still pay attention to what people say about you on social media. I think I would even blame you more. Like you don't get to that level, globally, where you're talking about the whole wild world. Like everyone sees what you do, right? I mean, I don't want to go into my own personal life, right? But then again, I know the little that I still have to deal with. Sometimes I don't even go onto my Instagram messages for like the last time I checked my Facebook messages, it was like 65,000 maybe, right? Now, there are people who are probably saying things like, you are very stupid at one thing you said. Now, you think me going back there to go read that, am I doing myself good? Because it's going to end up messing me mentally, who knows, right? So I think as a player who has gotten to that level, this is something you should teach yourself. It is something, maybe for somebody like Yamin Lamar. Sorry. Why? No. Wait. Lamine Yamal. Yeah, come on. That's it now. Yeah, for somebody like Yamin Lamar, he might probably be the only person you can. Sorry, did I just go?
You done it again.
All right, you know what? I'm tired of pronouncing that name. I'm not pronouncing. You see, just give me the initial. It's L-Y, right? So L-Y is probably...
That's all, man.
Okay, L-Y, right. So L-Y is probably one of the persons that you can see maybe at his age. He might fall into the trap of social media and all of this stuff and see how it's going to affect them mentally. But you get to a certain level in your career where, somebody like Bukayo Saka, who's been to the... he travels to America, he's seen all these big... He's met people. You should understand that you've signed up for something, and you should know how to manage it. If you don't know how to manage it, then maybe get people to help you manage this stuff. So I was told that there are some players who don't even have access to their social media and stuff. They just have like little private accounts where they just see stuff and just let life move on. So talking about weight on English players, to me, that's not a very... If they are messing up on the pitch, they know what they're doing to themselves, and we need to query them, and Southgate in particular. He needs to go to jail at least 2 years, for all this rubbish he keeps doing with them.
So let me just... On this point, I think it's such a big issue in today's day. Last year, I had the pleasure of interviewing Samuel Eto'o. Among the things, as part of the interview, we were talking about mental health and things like that. And he was saying that I should forgive him, but we are raising a Samuel is a very macho guy, and he was like, we are raising a generation of snowflake players, because it is, and he was basically mirroring exactly what Klinton is saying, that if you are paid several hundreds of thousands of euros or pounds or dollars each week, and you can't have enough self-control to put this device down, maybe with 5 hours to go, 10 hours to go, 24 hours to go, then you are not serious about your career. It's really as simple as that. So he was giving us a couple of examples that when he spoke to some of the top African players of today, and when he spoke to them personally, and the advice he gave them and why they are good, he mentioned a couple of players like Vincent Abubakar, because we are talking about African players, Vincent Abubakar of Cameroon, Percy Tau of South Africa. He mentioned of Ghana, the Ayew brothers, Andre and Jordan. He mentioned a couple of guys as well. That the reason why those guys keep on going to the pitch every day, no matter about that, they have sublet their social media to others, knowing that it's important. You have to liaise or speak to the people and have contact with them, but you have to create that barrier because the people love you and hate you in equal measure. They are toxic people. The same people who love you are the same people who are going to hurt you. So if you know what is good for you, give yourself certain boundaries. 24 hours before match day, you don't go there. You have professionals who are going to give you what they call sentiment reports. So you know that, okay, I've scored a hat trick in the last 3 games. Nobody is going to insult me. So in that time, the team is going to give you your phone and you can go through it. But if you know you've been rubbish in the last 2 games, don't go onto your phone.
I'm seeing the African parents coming out of Gary all of a sudden. He's like,
standing there. Put your phone in here, lads. Come on.
He's like, give me my cane, man, if I see you with that phone.
All right, Airport Alex, let's get into the nitty-gritty, though, now. I want to know what you think is going to happen tonight. We're got to go through our predictions.
I still think England win because they've got enough quality to beat Slovenia. So I've gone for a 2-1 win. I just think that I think 2-1, 1-0, a goal in it. I don't see it being too high scoring either way. But I do think England have got enough quality to beat this Slovenia team. They've got the players to do it. I think they'll just score that goal and kind of cling on again and maybe nick another one towards the end of the game. I don't think they lose this one, but yeah, it's going to be a close game when it really, really shouldn't.
All right, well, Alex is going for a 2-1 win. Gary's going for a 2-0 win. Alex Ashmore is going for a 3-0 win. He's really back in the Three Lions.
What do you expect with your red tie? Jesus.
I've chosen chaos. I think I'm just behind you, Alex Bagley, in the standings, and I'm not going for standings anymore. I just want the absolute chaos. And honestly, with the England I've seen, I can't back them. So look, prove me wrong. But Klinton and I have both gone for a 1-1 draw.
And we didn't plan it, by the way.
No.
You gave your scoreline.
I just kind of said it. So this is how it stands.
Right. But we didn't. No. Listen. We had the plan, right? We said we're just going to show our score lines and not to bring in this stuff. Like, come on.
Uh-oh. Just to reach our heights a little bit,
Yeah.
Must you always bring height? Is it because, must you always mention height?
You know what? I'm going to go with Alex
bottom of the group.
You're going with,
guys, who's bottom of the group? Who's bottom of the table?
I think if you look down, it's Klinton.
Wow.
You're down there.
Wow.
I can't see who's bottom of the table.
Gary, your own guy. We are literally neighbors in Africa. Like your own. Gary, is this what?
I can't see. I can't see.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
Oh my gosh. All right, Misal, you just said that you were going to go with Alex. Alex Bowtie.
This man
3-0.
You know why?
And he went for 3-0.
Because England have something to prove, and they need to prove it today. They need to show us why. But
Doesn't it come down to Gareth Southgate, though, and some of the decisions he makes?
Oh, my God. I don't understand the thing with Gareth Southgate. How do you pronounce it? Gareth Southgate or Gareth Southgate? Whatever his name
Gary's
is.
going to the Southgate after this game. Gatwick Airport.
Oh, yeah, he's going home. No, but I do think England are going to beat Slovenia 3-0 today, because they need to prove something. They need to show us why they deserve to be here. You know, so anything less than 3-0.
Anything less than 3-0. Not even a win.
No,
less than 3-0.
Anything less than 3-0.
Having him talk about that, I don't understand why. I'm just happy for the fact that somebody's making Bowtie Alex happy. Like, have you ever seen him? Have you ever seen him? Do you know, the last time I saw him this happy was Malaga, you know?
Wait, Alex, if they don't don't finish top of their group, what's the situation with the bow tie? Where do we stand?
I mean, it's a good luck. If we're still in the competition, I'm still going to...
Okay, so until they're knocked out.
Yeah.
Okay, so it shouldn't be too long now. All right, Alex Bagley, thank you so much for joining us. I'm just kidding, guys. Have a bit of a laugh. I know you're stressed out. But listen, I hope that you enjoy the match tonight. And let's see, hopefully England turn up because we know the talent is there.
Alex is stressed out. Alex, you're still going to continue being stressed out after the game. Like, if you think this is stress, you ain't seen nothing, bruv.
All right, well, we have to
Never any stress with England.
It doesn't look that
Never any
stressed.
stress. I have zero expectations, so no stress.
I mean, for a Manchester United fan, I think if you've gone through everything with Man, there's nothing with stress. I mean, you see, Manchester United fans, Arsenal fans, I don't think even if there was World War V right now, that would
World War V, 2 and 3 and 4, just over.
Nah. Alex would be like, nah, come on, what has Manchester United not shown me? What's this?
All right, well, we have to let Alex Bagley go here, but listen, I hope you... I just hope for the best for you, Alex.
Hopefully.
Thank you, guys. Speak to you all soon.
Thanks, Alex. We'll talk soon. All right, guys, let's move along because we don't have much time left, and there is another massive match tonight in... Well, there's actually a few. We have Denmark and Serbia, obviously, and that's interesting because obviously it plays into where England will fall in their group. But France is back in action. Will there be a one Kylian Mbappe joining this team? They're taking on Poland. Obviously, Poland have been, Alex, less than impressive in this tournament. But with Netherlands playing Austria, there's a lot at stake for this French side. And another team that I think has fallen short in terms of what we expected.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say we've been disappointed with France and we expected a lot more. We had the pleasure of obviously talking to Kylian Mbappe himself on the show.
Yep. Sorry, wait, where's Mbappe?
What do you mean your mask? Do you mean Kylian's mask?
No, what do you mean?
I am Kylian.
I think, I was impressed by Poland after that initial game against the Netherlands. I thought they played well, obviously without Lewandowski. Haven't quite lived up to it when Lewandowski's come back. France, the same, disappointing, but Kylian Mbappe, if he does start, which I think he will tonight, they need that win just to sort of put the pressure on the Netherlands because top spot isn't guaranteed. They're both there on 4 points. So, yeah, I think when you look at that France team, there's too much quality. And similar to England, at some point you'd think they would have to come good. And I believe more in this France squad than I do in the England squad.
Wait, Alex, were you just comparing the squads in France?
That was very anti-patriotic.
Like, for real. Look, I mean, we are speaking about a team that even their fourth team might be capable of beating an average team in these Euros. Like, you're comparing them to England. I mean, we are arguing about players in England who's able to cover for Foden if Foden, and you're speaking about a team that you would take off Ousmane Dembele. There is one other guy that will go there and do exactly what Ousmane would do, or even better, who knows? And then you take off that second person. There's also a third person there. And these guys are, I mean, look at what's happened with Spain. I know we've spoken about Spain, but Spain, they used their second team. If you looked at that game, they rested all, because, I mean, yeah, they've done everything they need to do to get on to the next stage. But the fact that they had, a junior team playing and they still were able to have a win, that's something I would have expected from a team like England or France.
France do have some questions to answer, though. I think the performances that they've had so far, they got the win against Austria. It was scratchy at best, and
own goal.
I think that performance against Netherlands. The Netherlands are a good team, and they've improved as the competition's gone on. I think they weren't at their best against Poland, but they played really well and perhaps should have got a goal against France. Obviously, the rules stipulating that the keeper was impeded, but I think this game, France, if they are to be, put themselves out there as favourites and to prove the doubters wrong, they have to put in a good performance tonight and score, a couple, just to, put the other teams on notice.
Musal, right now in the competition, who do you think has been more impressive or least impressive between England and France?
France.
France has been more impressive.
Less
Less impressive.
Less impressive.
Okay, tell me why.
I don't know. With the amount of players they have, the quality in defense, midfield, attack.
So you expected more from them is maybe what it is.
I expect more, much more.
Yeah.
Much more. But I would say it might be a coaching thing, might be a tactics thing. You can never tell. Because like in the last game, you have like, he set up the defense nicely. The midfield was set up nicely. But then he did something unusual.
Was up there.
Griezmann was up there, and Thuram was up there. You have Dembele, but then you put Rabiot on the left side of the pitch. I don't really understand why he does that all the time. In the World Cup, he did it. It didn't work. Yeah. And then he tried it again against the Dutch, and it's still the same result. So why don't you have Dembele and Koeman? Or you can have Koeman and Barcola. Or you can have Thuram and Dembele. You know, he can just keep on switching it, and these guys are going to terrorize anyone, any time of the day.
Wait, really quick. Would you rather have Southgate or Didier Deschamps as your manager?
Deschamps.
Wait, hold on. That was a... No, okay, but I mean, come on. But that's not the question I thought you were going to ask.
Sorry.
But no. But Southgate or Finidi George? Finidi George.
No!
I don't think you understand how bad Southgate is.
No, I understand. Listen, don't get me wrong. Because we have pretty much the same answer. Trust me. Like, I will go with Finidi George anytime over Southgate. Because Southgate, there's a difference between one person claiming he knows what he's doing, and he actually doesn't know, and the other person who knows, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to make it obvious to all of you that I don't know what I'm doing. Like, for somebody to have the guts to say...
So which who?
Well, hold on. Finidi George was like, to win a game, you don't need a formation. Like, right? No. With that one, you're letting me know that you don't know what you're doing, right? I accept. That's you being very sincere with yourself. Southgate is like, I know what the hell I'm doing. I know everything in football. But we don't have a right replacement for Calvin Phillips. What?
Alex, how does this make you feel?
I mean, I can't defend Southgate, really. What he's done for England is brilliant. He's got us to a semi-final of the World Cup, final of the Euros, quarter-finals of the World Cup again. He's done a really good job, but I think it's time for England to move on. I think I've always kind of been a doubter of Southgate ever since he took over. You know, I just think we need someone who's got that big tournament experience that, you know, has at winning at tournaments. Southgate's obviously got the experience, but the winning is something that he's just missing. And, you know, I look at some of the coaches that are coming to the end of their contracts in club football and you know, some coaches out there that would really like to coach a national team, and I see some really good options.
Sorry, I mean, Gary is still on. Gary, let me put this, no, because...
Gary, come on back, Gary.
No, reason is only because, you know, you see, like I said, I know what happens in Accra, right? he can just go get a mortar, you know, and start pounded yam, like, you know, before you know it, they say he's left the line. But, Gary, sincerely, look at, you know, this particular French team. I think we were comparing the French to the English.
We were?
Yeah. I appreciate it.
No, but Gary, the question I was going to put to you is exactly regarding the same, you know, issue of Gary Southgate. And then you mentioned... No, see, like I said, anytime I mention that name, I just want him to go to the Southgate in Gatwick Airport and just go to one country, don't come back to England again. But, you know, you said the problem with Southgate is winning, right? Personally, I think Southgate does win games. It's how he wins the games that's the problem, right? Now, he puts you in a position where you feel like, shit, you know, are we going to cope this win? Like, you know, so it's not that kind of coach that you go into a game thinking 100% this team we are playing, we're definitely going to come back with a win, right? So you're playing this, you know, some smaller teams that you would not expect England to struggle with, and they are struggling. Now, Gary, I don't know if you have any problem with Gary Southgate like a lot of us. Sorry, do you have a problem with him too?
I don't have a problem with him. I don't waste my time thinking about him.
All right, please don't sit next to me here, right? Now, you have a problem with Southgate.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing we have.
He's wasting England's golden generation.
Thank you, Gary. Please talk to me about Southgate and his coaching techniques with England currently.
I mean, my social media bears me witness, so I can't say anything that is inconsistent with my views on Gareth Southgate in the past. I think that he's just not the man to steer this generation. Alex lists how well he has done with this English team, and yet I'd argue on a tournament-by-tournament basis that there are times where he could have done better. But generally speaking, he's brought England joy. Generally speaking, he's brought England joy when they had been shorn of joy for a while. So That's why he's been given so many opportunities till now. Otherwise, he would have been fired. Now, as regards comparing him to the French team, I think that historically, we would agree that France are in their warming up stage when it comes to tournaments. So I'm not too bothered because they have secured qualification. Didier Deschamps, more than anything, wants to qualify out of the group. Everything else is secondary. He wants to get out of the group, and then they begin to do what they have to do. Once they've gotten out of the group with one game to spare now, I'm thinking today he unleashes the dragon.
Ooh.
With all due respect to Sissoko.
Wait, does Kylian Mbappe play tonight then, Gary?
I'm hoping so. I don't know if he does. Even if he doesn't, don't you think France have enough quality? I mean, if Kante and Tchouameni are screening the attack, and you give the freedom to the attack, don't they have enough quality to do the kind of damage you want?
But this is my point. Do you risk then injured Mbappe for the arguably easiest game of this group stage for France because Poland are already out?
No, I don't. No,
I will.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to.
Okay,
risk
wait.
it.
No. Okay, so Gary said he's not going to do it, and Misal said I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it because if you watch France's last game, they were so bad in attack,
Oh wait, so you're saying you're going to play Mbappe? No, okay, so they're both saying the same thing.
I mean, he's just said France. They were not the best.
Okay, sorry, that's my bad. Yeah, I wouldn't play Mbappe either, if I'm honest.
Sorry.
I will.
Just listening to Mao, he said the attack. That was a problem from the French in the last game. But did you not just think? To me, that wasn't the problem. Was just goal scoring though. They were just missing chances. It wasn't like they were not creating the chances.
I mean, Griezmann created like 700 chances by himself.
They created. Griezmann was somebody who was still responsible for not scoring.
So do you want to create or do you want to win?
I think it is a confidence issue. You talk about they're getting there, they're close, but if you're on a goal-scoring form and you're playing well and you're easily netting 2 or 3 a game, those chances go in. But if you're in a little bit of a rut and you're struggling, you're maybe not playing your best football, those chances just clip the outside of the post or they get blocked by the defender. So I think it is very much, if France have 15 minutes of really good flowing football, they score 1, maybe 2, I think they'll just, all you need in football is that click and the momentum can change from left to right.
But I think Gary's right when I completely agree, but I think Gary's right when he's saying France are still warming up. Like, I think they got a bit of a confidence shock when they obviously saw Mbappe go down in the first match. The second match, hardest match they're going to have in the group stage, obviously against Netherlands. Netherlands also coming off of a poor match to Poland, so they're going to want to bounce back in that game. So I think it's hard to judge France just yet based on these two. My reasoning to not start Mbappe is I know what you're saying about the goals because they absolutely need the goals to win, right? But they're qualified already. They have to play Poland, which is the worst team in this group, one of the worst performances, in my opinion, in this whole tournament. And you're going to risk Kylian Mbappe to potentially get further injured to then go into the round of 16. That's my only concern, is do you risk him and then you don't have him for a one-off match next game? I don't know. I think you bring him on the bench, and if it's going poorly, super sub season. We know what he can do in a half. He can score a hat-trick.
Oh, you can give him 60 minutes. All the same.
I mean, I think the idea is you try and win without him. I think that's what I would do. I don't know. Gary, what do you think? You're on, I think, my side here.
What I'll do at most, if you want to give him a run, just because he's the top player, he doesn't want to be on the bench for too long. Give him 15 minutes at the end.
But then again, you guys fail to understand that sometimes Kylian Mbappe just doesn't play because he wants a win, right? He also plays because he's also trying to get these goals to his name. Because there's nothing as beautiful as saying, because he's seen as the best player in the world currently, right? He wants to finish this tournament to say, I was the highest goal scorer. But if you deny him these chances of playing and producing,
and Kylian Mbappe has not scored in the Euros as well. He does not have a Euros goal.
Yes, fact.
Remind me.
And I'm sure the young side of him is probably thinking about this at some point. Sorry, Sarah, please.
I'm so sorry, guys. I have to wrap this up because It is time for us to actually take off here. We had so much to talk about today. I wish we could have gotten to the Netherlands more, but we really stayed on.
Netherlands for the win. Netherlands for the win.
Clinton is still taking
Need it for your
Netherlands.
bracket.
Netherlands for the Euros.
There you go, Netherlands for the Euros. So obviously massive matches. Denmark, Serbia, England, Slovenia, France and Poland, and Netherlands and Austria all kick off today. And tomorrow is the final match of the group stage. We will be back again on Saturday for the round of 16, kicking off with Italy and Switzerland. I can't wait. Bring me the round of 16. Gary, thank you so much for joining us, as always. Mao, Alex, Clinton, my co-host, as always, thank you guys so much. And make sure you check out Sporty Live ahead of tomorrow's match because, like I said, they will be going live pre- and post-match. I think that's all I have to say, guys. I'm out of breath.
Come on.
Enjoy the football. We'll be back on Saturday.
Come on, France.